Hey everybody, and welcome to a special bonus drop of Talk 30 to Me. This episode is for anyone who's sitting in their car before work, staring at their ceiling at 3 a.m., or fighting the urge to scream into a pillow every Sunday night. Let's get into it. Do you really need a new job? Or do you just need to finally name what's not working in your life right now? After our last episode, Career Pivots When 30 Means Change, I heard from a few of you, folks who were tired, confused, on the edge of quitting, or quietly checking job boards on your lunch break, and I get it. That's why I wanted to create something just for you, a tool to help you get real clear on what's next. It's called the Career Pivot Starter Guide, and it's available now on my website. But listen, this isn't just a checklist or a cute little PDF with buzzwords. In fact, it's not even a PDF at all. I will make it downloadable, but it is not downloadable at this present moment. But this is a mirror. It's a gut check. It's the conversation you've probably been putting off with yourself. So you might be asking, how does it work? Pretty simple. The guide is broken into 4 key sections: reflect, inventory, build, and plan. You start by answering some questions that might feel a little uncomfortable, like, what am I no longer fulfilled by in this current role? What excites me about something new? Am I afraid of change or just exhausted? And these are not trick questions. They're designed to uncover the truth, but sometimes it's not the job that's the problem. It's that your life has grown and, your role hasn't grown with you, which is okay. Sometimes we stay in positions too long. I am like numero uno when it comes to, staying on a ship that's on fire, watching people leave the ship and waving at them as they leave, as if it's not time for me to get my ass off the ship too. But yeah, like that I think this tool will be helpful. I have used this tool in a broken capacity, not in a full system where I've put it together. And it's very simple. Most of the things that I'm going to create, either through workshops or other, are all about you doing the work. I have not done the work for you, and you just get to fill it in a little bit. Like, it really is for you to figure out what's going on with you. So not titles, not degrees. I just want to know what you're actually good at. When we get to that skills section, that's your opportunity to figure out what it is you're actually good at. And I do this with my clients, specific to my position with the Housing Corps, when we do our individual work. I know all the places that you have worked before, but what's the skill set that you've acquired as a result of working at these places? And more specifically, armed with knowing what that is, we're going to find out what you're actually good at and what you want to get better at. The whole purpose of this Career Pivot Starter Guide, and again, it's just a starter guide. You can definitely go deeper in this work, but it's just to acknowledge the fact that pivoting doesn't always mean starting over. Sometimes it means realigning. Sometimes it means using the same skills in a space that honors you more or better. Sometimes you really do go through hell to acquire a skill set. You worked at this terrible job, but you did pick up specifically how to do a very specific thing. And then you're able to take that and do a bunch of other stuff. So then after we move from that phase, now we're talking about building. So I list just a couple of free resources in the guide if you want to build a new skill set, whether that's through certification or just, workshops or webinars or just other interactive content. I think I highlight some platforms like Coursera, ADX, YouTube, of course. YouTube University is on the top of the list. Yes, I said it. Because they can help you test the waters of something new without quitting your job tomorrow. I want you to be able to really feel out of space. I mean, if you know me, my hands are in some of everything. And my whole philosophy is I don't know that I can't do it until I attempt to do it, and either don't prevail and figure it out, or my brain is just like, nope, I needed to have figured this out 10, 15, 20 years ago. But it's important to know that sometimes in order to become better or to get better out of life, you're going to have to pursue some additional education. You're going to have to learn something new. You're going to have to change the way you think. So some of the resources that I provide will help you do that. I don't steer you towards any particular, video or playlist or lesson or module, but these are some places that I personally recommend and have used myself in order to up my skill set. And then the last portion of the resource guide is about planning, because clarity without action is just anxiety. And how many of us are already anxious? Should I not have asked you that question? My apologies. I'm sorry. So there's a 30-day checklist. And it looks smaller than 30 days, but some of these things are repetitive because you are repeating these steps every week, right? So it's real steps, small wins, momentum. Because again, the goal is not to figure everything out within a month. That's not the reason. That's not the purpose of a 30-day, anything. It's definitely to get those steps started because I really hate to say building a habit, but you are building a habit, but I'm going to find another way to say that. But, you are definitely trying to practice new ways to get unstuck. So you deserve the time it takes to practice these new ways to become unstuck. So listen, maybe you do need a new job. Maybe it is time, or maybe you just need to reclaim a part of yourself that got buried under deadlines and job titles. Only you know. Only you know. This guide, however, is just here to help you hear yourself a little louder. So this guide is not here to fix your problems. It's not here to do the work for you, but it is there to help you hear yourself. Because sometimes we stop listening to ourselves, again, by prioritizing everybody else, doing what we're supposed to do as far as having a job and having money and paying bills and being responsible and all that terrible stuff that we've decided is called adulting. But sometimes you really do need, most of the time, more often than not, you need that time to really listen to yourself because you are crying out, you are screaming, you are unfulfilled, and you're not listening to yourself when yourself is trying to tell you what's really going on. So you might be asking, where do I find this guide? On our website. So if you visit Woodsy, woodsy.talk-30-2-me, or hit the link in the show notes. It's free. You can hit print and it will print the page out. I will make it a downloadable sheet of paper. It is not going to be pretty because you all don't need pretty. You don't need some pretty form that you can print out and leave somewhere and, posture like you have actually done something. You need to actually do the work. So it's going to be a janky blank sheet of paper. No borders, no logo. Well, I might have the logo on there. Maybe not. It's not that important. It's not proprietary information. This is not a unique system, but it is a system that you have to kind of be repetitive at doing. You got to check yourself, much like meditation, and bring yourself back to yourself when you feel yourself getting away from your habits are, which is also an active practice that I am working on because I am not the most disciplined for things that I have an interest in doing, but that do require a fullness that sometimes I don't feel I can give because I've given so much to everyone else in their tasks. So you are not alone in this journey. But I will make sure, I believe it is, but I will make sure that this link is at least in the notes for this particular episode. But if ever you visited the website to listen to the podcast, you will notice that the transcripts and any resources that are mentioned in the podcast will appear on that page just below where the video plays at the top. So I will put this link in the chat. I will put this link in the show notes so that you'll see it. Do it alone, do it with a friend, do it with a journal, do it with your favorite playlist on. Just promise me and yourself that you'll do it. That was the part where you were like, I'll do it. And then I was going to say, yeah, okay. But anyway, we'll move on. Well, that's it for the bonus drop. Be kind to yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, but reflection starts in minutes. You've got this. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.